Hi, Saili. Hi, Shivani. And you're right on time, by the way, Shivani.
Thank you.
So you're not in India, right? You're right now in Dubai, right?
I'm in Oman. Yes.
Oman, sorry, yes. So that's why the Indian stretchable time IST is not applicable to you. That's why you're right on time. You know, because if you were in India, it would have been definitely an Indian stretchable time. Okay, Shivani, I think your screen is frozen. Shivani, or have I frozen?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I froze out. What did you just say?
I said, you definitely, I know you're not in India. And I mean, the other reason is because you have not stuck to the Indian stretchable time. If it was IST, it would have been an Indian stretchable time. So since you're
I'll join again. Hello.
Yes. Hi, Shivani.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Well, you were saying, I'm so sorry, my net connection is very unstable at the moment.
No, I was just saying that, it's very evident that you're not in India and you are in Oman, because if we were in India, it would have been an Indian stretchable time, IST. Since you're right on time, so we can say that you've not followed the IST literally, in literal sense. Otherwise, it's a 7 o'clock webinar. You have people coming in by 7:10.
No. I thought I was late, honestly. I came running. I was like, and then I saw the meeting's been recorded, so I was like, oh my God, it already started. Everyone's already there.
No. You're right on time. I'll just text. Siley, can you hear me?
Yes, Diksha. I was just setting up. I could hear you, but I was not on the desk, so I am here now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can. Yes.
Yes.
Siley, can you just check your WhatsApp for a second?
Yes.
I'm just sending you something there.
Hello.
Hi, Ashley.
Hello, Ashley.
Hi, Diksha. Hello, Shwani. Hi, Atul. Hi, Sally.
Hello, Ashley. Hi, Ashley. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you. How are you doing?
All good. Just waiting for the weekend now. Almost end of the week, so it has been quite an eventful week, I would say. We had our closing session for MSc, so yes.
Great. So how many people are supposed to attend the meeting?
I have 19 registrations for today.
Wow.
Maybe we can wait for 5 minutes more.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
At least you got a space, Siley, finally, because when he started, I didn't see a smile on his. I said, at least you got a smile on Mr. Fernandez's face. He had a smile when he.
He's always smiley. I think he's.
No, he didn't have a smile.
Yeah,
On the contrary, his DP is awesome. That had a great smile.
Now he's hiding his smile, I think now.
Yeah.
He's smiling in his mind, in his head.
All right, Sandeep, Naresh.
So Sandeep, weren't you frustrated not to get an answer to your question on how to become rich by becoming a aggressive trader?
Hello.
No.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, sir. Did you ask any question to me? I mean, I did not. I just joined actually.
Yeah. No, I was saying, weren't you frustrated when you did not get an answer to how to become a rich trader?
On the other day when there was a seminar, when we were in the seminar,
Yes.
no, I was worried that the time would get over and I would be left stranded and my question would not be answered. So that's why
There was no way I was going to answer your question, because if I gave you the secret of how becoming a rich trader, if I knew the answer, I would keep it to myself.
Yes, but that is also true. But I will keep pinging you. I will keep in constant touch with you and try to get the most out of you.
You can try. You can try. You can try. It's never a bad thing to try. On the contrary, you should keep trying until you succeed. So that's exactly the spirit you need to stay in.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, we'll answer that question as well. Don't worry. I mean,
Yes.
perhaps not today, but I promise you will get an answer to that. Okay. So what is the ritual in India? How many hours do we have to wait before everybody comes in? You're in charge, Saili, so you should tell me. You're the one who's organizing this. I'm just a poor, bystander waiting for some moments of glory.
That's what exactly some time back Diksha was telling, that we have this IST, that is the Indian stretchable time. Maybe it might get stretched a little by a few minutes. I'll not say. I'm sure our students are quite punctual. Let's hope.
So before we go into anything, how are you guys doing? Are you all good? Are you all safe? Please give me some feedback. And this is a genuine question, okay? It's not just about, spending or wasting time. Please take some time and answer that.
It's all going good. Actually, it's much better. Situations improving in India also. And here in Oman, it was getting really bad in the middle with no vacancy for hospital beds and everything. But now it's improving slowly. There's chances of vaccinations happening. So yeah, hopefully
Good.
by the time the semester rolls around, most of us should be vaccinated, hopefully. At least one dose, if not two.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. I guess nobody else wants to answer the question.
No, it's good. I mean, cases are coming down, and hopefully things would be much better by the time we have to come in. But yes, some things have been delayed, like my course, like I told you before also, it's the course has been delayed, so I am facing some issues there, but staying put. So hopefully I will get through that and then completely focus on France and emlyon.
Okay. Let me put some light over here. Okay, I propose that we start.
Yes, Ashley.
Because
I mean, Shashank, I was just starting. He's also okay. I'm actually starting.
Shashank wants to say something, please.
Shashank was there last time, but he was too. I think that was still in recovering, and he had not switched on his camera. So I was just telling him, but why don't you? Since you asked that question, Ashley, I was asking him, why don't you switch on your video?
Of course. Please, please ask him to switch his camera so I can see his face. Shashank.
Shashank, I don't know what's happening.
Hi, Ramesh. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Shashank. How are you? Are you better? Diksha has
I think there's an internet problem. I think he's having a. We'll start maybe once.
Yeah.
Once he gets a better connectivity, we can.
Okay. Some of you already I've already seen part of this presentation, if not most of this presentation, but what I suggest is that we, I just once again try and take you through these slides, and feel free to interrupt whenever you feel like, and feel free to obviously ask any questions. The purpose, once again, of these talks that have been organized by the India team, thank you, Saili, thank you, Hetal, thank you, Diksha, for that, is to once again stay in touch and provide you with maximum information, unbiased, and keep you engaged and motivated towards one simple goal, is making your own future. Okay. So if I look at this period, okay, which is basically still here, COVID-19, this is what it's the first image that comes to my mind, okay, that everybody has in mind. Okay, I think this says it all, actually. This was the follow your dreams was the previous motto, and then we all felt that that was cancelled in some way or the other, and we were all deprived from that. And you know why I brought this picture up again is because actually this is a picture I took, and it's a picture by Bansky. And when I took this picture a long time ago in Boston, I didn't know it was Bansky, and it just popped up. I was going through my files and so on, and I came up with this picture, and I felt that it really gave me the impression that a long time ago, this was already in the making in some way or the other. So we decided with the India team once again to deliver these talks, these webinars, Care, Share, and Dare 2.0, because last year we had started it and we felt that we needed to sort of renew it a little bit and reshape it. These are basically the two main important changes that have happened in the last few months, if not 1.5 years. Basically, work from home, and also in some way or the other, a sense of burnout. Okay, I think if we sort of once again have to summarize this, these are, in my humble opinion, and once again this is open for discussion, but we will, if you want to sort of jump in and give your own impression, that would be great. But these are the two main aspects that I feel are important to highlight as of today. So once again, welcome to the Care, Share, Dare talk. Bienvenue in French for those of you who are learning French. And the purpose of these talks is basically this. We would like you to stop worrying of what can go wrong and start, getting excited about what can go right. Sort of impression we would like to create. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? Will probably vouch for me. I'm not into that sort of false positive type of attitude or behavior, okay? There are really difficult things atrocious things happening, okay? I totally get it. But this is where, in these moments, we have to separate fear from stress. Being stressful is something that keeps you alert. Being fearful is something that paralyzes you. I keep telling people, do you want to be paralyzed or electrified? This is a moment, and I keep saying it, and I keep at least trying and practice it. this is a moment where we need to push back. So what is fear versus stress, basically? We all know that we are living in a crisis, okay? Loss of normalcy, fear of economic toll, and loss of connection. I've already talked about that many times, but this is basically what we all believe a crisis means in one way or the other. But actually, from an etymological point of view, a crisis is a decisive moment. It's a moment, it's a tipping point. And if you look at a crisis as a tipping point, and if you do not go into future tripping or past tripping, then you start getting into a mindset shift where you can start building resilience, where you can start adjusting, and where you can show some flexibility, because this is important. Okay, now this is a question. Does anyone know what is the black swan? I think I've already asked this question, so I would like to ask it once again for those who have been following the talks and who hopefully have done their homework. No answers? No one wants to dive in?
Yeah, we discussed it earlier. It's an unexpected event.
Exactly. This coined in 2009, an unexpected, unpredictable, unforeseen, extreme consequence. We talked about it, and it's very important for you to understand. This is a black swan moment. This is a black swan moment. So the question about a new normal, we had talked about the new normal. For those of you who were there at the IFCCI talk, okay, what is the new normal? We didn't have time to dive into that when we were talking with at the IFCI. But for me, a new normal is once again separating noise from signal. A noise is something that is, I mean, it's a noise. There's no clear indication. There is no clear path. A signal is something totally different. So what is the new normal today? When and how can academic life resume? And once again, which is basically the question that everybody's asking, what about life after COVID? And we keep telling you that it's not about life after COVID anymore. It's about life with COVID. And life with COVID means basically to focus and regain initiative, because this is a time where you have to be comfortable with uncertainty, where you have to be flexible in your response, and you must be prepared for unplanned situations. The reason why I'm saying this is that each one of you in your own personal lives are experiencing this. If you remember our first talk, when we started this with you guys, India was undergoing a very, very rough patch. I'm not saying it's not undergoing that, but if you remember correctly, and I know that conversation has been taped, but I told you that according to what I read, according to my information, India would peak mid-May. Do you remember me saying that?
Yes, you did.
Exactly. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a public health specialist. But the reason why I'm mentioning that fact is because, once again, it is important for you, all of you, in your own capacity, in your own way, to seek information and use that information, and in order to base your behavior, to base your assumptions on facts. And until and unless you do not have or do not believe that you have the right information or the right facts, keep on pushing. Once again, that's the difference between stress and fear, between noise and signal. Becoming as rational as possible. Now, don't get me wrong once again, okay? I know these are difficult times. Once again, I am not the type of person who's saying nothing is happening, everything is easy, etc., etc. But at the same time, whatever is happening, it's a crisis, it's a tipping point. How you address the crisis depends on you. So what is basically happening today? we all believe, we all are comfortable in continuity. We all want our lives to be as normal as possible. And as I told you already, we have a first disruption. Some call it a wild card, some call it a black swan, some call it a weak signal. Whatever the theory is. But basically what it does, it creates a disruption. Okay? Then you have a second one. And actually, this happens every day, every month, every decade. Small, big, or huge. But we are continuously undergoing and managing discontinuity. Sometimes we don't see it, but it's basically what's happening. Life is exactly this. And then you have these different paths, these different scenarios. Okay? Whatever is happening, you have these different scenarios. And then you have a new continuity. And there's the loop. And if you're aware of this, if you once again, you understand that life is an iteration of different continuities, okay, it gives you a different perspective on things. And if I want to push it further, this is the only thing I'm certain about. You will be, I will be, my children will be dealing with uncertainty for a very, very long time, perhaps till the end of time, actually. So it's about feeling comfortable with that. And if you're asking me, because I know that some of you are into finance and into economics and so on, okay, if you are going to ask me what's going to happen, well, I'll tell you something. You've already seen this, okay? There's a K-shaped or a V-shaped recovery basically happening. And if you think that this is only blah, 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 later on you'll see that this has very strong connections to what is actually happening today. So this is not just about, making you feel good or giving you some big theories and so on. This is reality, my friends. And if you do not understand with a cold-blooded attitude that this is what is in store, you're going to miss the opportunities and you're going to focus on the constraints. And how do you do that? Basically, I've already told you this, and I'll repeat it because basically this is the name of the game. You have to keep understanding that it is not a binary scenario anymore. It's not 0 or 1. It's not yes or no. You will have to keep modeling your behavior. You will have to be agile in your adjustments. You will have to keep adjusting to the different pebbles that you are going to face. Because I keep saying that as well. We never stumble on a mountain. We usually stumble on a pebble or a stone. So this is a graph that I took from I think it's New York Times, this is what is happening. This was actually what was happening a few weeks ago in the United States, and I can show you practically similar graphs and similar trends in different countries. So we are experiencing, in general, a V-shaped recovery, a strong recovery. So this is also the sort of weak signals or early signals that will answer the macroeconomics of your future. Now, when I talk about a V-shaped, obviously this V-shape doesn't concern all segments of the economy and all countries. Different economies, different countries, different economies, different segments will be affected short-term or long-term by this crisis. So when you dive deeper, when you go into when you fine tune your analysis, you must also seek the opportunities within the cracks. And there's a lot of information there for you to gather, garner, and leverage. And as you've all experienced, this disruption will definitely and durably affect some sectors of the economy. You've all experienced this. I don't need to go into details. Okay, some are positively impacted, some are negatively impacted. But then again, even if you talk about the negative impact, it's a negative impact on in a short term. It's in the long term, there are going to be opportunities in that disruption also. So once again, it's about looking at the trend, looking at the impact, looking at the trend, and understanding where the opportunities lie. I believe there's one major trend, then one major caveat, and there's one major opening. The major trend is the impact of artificial intelligence and technology on the economy and in general on information and knowledge. The major caveat, I put it in a different way, but to a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And the major opening, I'll leave it to Lisa Stern. I believe that there is a future for problem solvers. Those who have, she believes, and I believe it too, by the way, but she believes that there is a future for problem solvers and those who have cognitive abilities. So if you relate the major opening to the major caveat, it's not about knowledge anymore. It's about how you use knowledge, how you behave, how you address problems, how you tackle problems, how you solve problems. And there's another thing I would like to share with you that was actually, this was a book written by two of my professors at Stanford, The Knowing Doing Gap. Okay, it's not about because you know you have the information that you can act upon the information, and this is why I'm really strongly in favor of this of the early makers attitude that we try to promote at emlyon. It's about the doing, it's about the making, it's about impacting that will create a difference. And that comes with your attitude and obviously your intentions. I believe today that attitude is perhaps more important than aptitude. And I have so many examples that show that. Jeffrey Pfeiffer, sorry. And you've also seen this, okay? So what we tried to do last year was basically move people from denial to acceptance. That was last year's task for the team. Because we tried to make them understand it was life with COVID and they needed to accept it. And we still need to accept it, by the way, okay, with different drivers, but we're still accepting the new normal. And then more and more now, the new normal is leading to finding meaning. Because this has shattered everything. This has definitely made us very uneasy. So what is the new meaning? Well, this is the cognitive triad. I mean, actually, there are very few slides that you should in my humble opinion, you should really think about and keep in mind. I strongly believe, sorry, that's my daughter calling me. I strongly believe that what you think affects the way you feel and the way you act. So what you think is important. But at the same time, what you do will affect your thinking and your feeling. So by doing good, you feel good. Which is always, by the way, why I prefer goodness to greatness, but that's another thing. And how we feel will affect the way we think and do. Just a second, I'm sorry, because my daughter. Darling, I'm on a call, sweetheart. I'll call you back, okay? Thank you. And this is very, very, Diksha, for those of you who were here at the beginning, Diksha said, you got a smile from Ashley. Okay? Well, if you have smiley people around you, you're going to feel like smiling. If you have forceful people around you, you're going to feel forceful. It is about the environment as well. So this is why it is important for you to train your obviously, I won't go into physical training, but mental training. This is a very, very important aspect for your future. Those of you who have been in discussion with me know the importance that I have. I mean, I have for mindset. Okay, the importance I believe that this is mindset is all. And there are two types of mindset. One is the fixed mindset, and the other one is a growth mindset. This is a great book by 𝐞𝐦𝐥𝐲𝐨𝐧. She's another professor at Stanford. And for me, I believe that if you have a growth mindset, you are equipped to deal with all the uncertainties, all the disruptions that come your way, because you will deal with failure differently. You will not think in binary terms. You will get out of your comfort zone. You will have a positive attitude and a constructive attitude. And as I said earlier, your attitude and your behavior will determine your aptitudes, and not the contrary, and not the contrary. And this is very important. And please, please look at challenges as an opportunity. Link it to our previous our beginning statement. Okay, look at the good things that can happen. I won't dwell too much on this one. I'll leave it to you guys. So moving on. What is the time frame? For you guys, at least. This one. This is basically the time frame you're looking at. And sorry. This is the time frame you're looking at. And this is basically why I believe when I hear people asking me, is this the right time? Honestly, I don't know if it's the right time or the wrong time. But I believe that this is a window of opportunity. Economic recovery, opportunities in different segments of the economy. You will be learning, gaining more skills, gaining more knowledge, hopefully changing your mindset, getting out of your comfort zone, and you should be ready to take advantage and leverage the recovery. This is why I think this is really a window of opportunity. And this is very, very, I would say, factual information, okay? Where we are in the third column, basically between the second and the third column. France and Europe is opening up. Actually, today I'm not at my place. I'm in the south of France. Okay. I just came back from lunch. We had lunch on a terrace. And so things are definitely opening up. There are different scenarios possible still, yes, but there are some very positive signs that seem to indicate that we are going towards a more relaxed environment. This is what is happening in France today. Things may change. I have no certainty. Things may change, but this is the situation as per today and as per the information we have for the month of June, the summer, and the months of September. If you want the information, the team will give it to you. So this is it. This is basically something that we wanted to share with you. We have some other information that we gathered when we attended the talk with the French embassy on the visa process and so on. But basically, this is what I wanted once again to share with you, because at the end of the day, this is what you need to keep in mind to keep going. So, merci beaucoup. And now, if you have any questions for Saili, Hetal, or Diksha, please don't hesitate, and they will be happy to answer them. And I promise now, for those of you who get bored, I will change my presentation next time.
No, we didn't get bored.
Thank you.
Starting slides were very nice.
Sorry?
The slides at the starting totally connecting to what is going on in our minds, and could totally relate to what you were saying, especially that stress versus fear, and then the starting 2-3 slides.
Thank you. Because we try to wear your to walk in your shoes, and most importantly, walk the talk. By the way, my daughter that called me got her first shot 1 week ago, and she's exactly in the same situation as the new guys, because she's supposed to go for a summer internship. She was supposed to go to Denmark, and she can't. So now she's probably going to Letony. So that's a different country. So whatever I'm saying to you, I'm sort of living it at home as well. And we are all dealing with these uncertain times and coping with this. So yeah, I mean, although perhaps you may be going under different stresses or different dire circumstances, but that's the reason why we're here to talk as well, if we can help you.
Yes.
No questions?
I actually had a question. So I know that the situation regarding lockdown in France is interchangeable at any point of time, but I just wanted to ask that what are the chances of the course being completely online? Are they very less, or mine is
Listen,
master's management? So
I'll be very honest with you. I'll be very honest with you. I cannot give you 100% guarantee that the courses will not be 100% online. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, once again, I'm not a recruiter. Okay, so I'm here to as an advisor, as a big brother, I would say. Okay, honestly, I mean, there's no hidden agenda. So I must be very honest with you and say that. Now, having said that, in my humble opinion, given what I'm experiencing today, okay, there are lesser chances for us to go 100% online than there was last year.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we are in a definitely better situation this year than last year. And last year we did not go 100% online either.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That-
So worst case scenario, it will be a high flex situation where it will be 1 week online, 1 week physical, etc. So, and given that's why I started by saying this. We've been traveling now with my wife. There is no restriction in terms of traveling. There is no restrictions in terms of social life. Okay, for the timing, we are still restricted to eating on terraces, but from 9th of June onwards, all the restaurants will be open. The cinemas are open, the theaters are open, etc., etc. So, and the numbers are going down due to basically one important factor, vaccination.
Right.
Okay, important factor, vaccination. Europe is opening up in terms of tourism. Spain just announced 3 days ago, 4 days ago, that all vaccinated people would be able to enter Spain without any restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that once again, I was talking about signal versus noise. There are some signals, strong, soft and strong, that seem to indicate that we are moving towards an opening up of the situation. Okay. Now, once again, this is recorded, so I have no problem with saying this. I am not a doctor. I am not a health specialist. I don't know if I could read the future. Believe me, I would start investing in one way or the other in the stock market, and then I would become very rich. But I don't have that possibility or that knowledge. So I'm just giving you a very transparent and honest answer.
Perfect. Perfect. That's very good to know. Thank you very much for that information.
By the way, to answer your question also, 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, we had this conversation with Campus France and the French embassy and so on. And they told us, and you must be aware of it, unless the team did not do their work, but you're aware that Campus France has started their whatever they call it, pre-interviews or whatever. Okay, so I mean, things are in the process of opening up. Having said that, at the same time, the visa section is not open yet.
Right.
Okay, at least in India. Okay, but as you know, also, France was the first country to open up their visa section for the students last year when things were really bad.
Right.
Today, I think the most important thing, if I want to go to the full extent of my answer, I think what I foresee and what I feel, this is just a feeling, what I feel is that people are waiting to see and to better understand the Indian variant.
Right.
You see, that is something that is on the top of the mind of many people.
Definitely, yeah. It's like that process. It suddenly came, and then there was widespread increase in the number of cases, and I don't think India was very well equipped in handling that sudden increase in numbers. So I think that was at that point a very dicey situation, whether it will be completely online, whether the program will be completely online. But I think it's getting better now, so hopefully it should be online by then. Offline by then.
The information that I have, because I'm on the executive committee of the school, the information that I have and we shared is we are not gearing up for 100% online what do you call it, start of the academic year. Okay, that this is not our priority or on top of our agenda,
right,
given the information that we have today.
Okay, fine, perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Yes, Shashank, go ahead.
Last week I was reading an article in Business Standard. It was mentioned, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes.
It was mentioned that if an Indian is looking forward to move to an European country, they need to take a vaccine which is approved by United Nations, WHO. So apparently right now only Covishield is approved and Covaxin and Sputnik is not approved. So will it be a problem if we take any other vaccination?
To be honest with you, the answer is yes. It could be a problem. I'm not saying it's going to be 100% a problem, but the information I have but by the way, it's not only for Indians, it's for French people also. If I want to enter the United States, okay, I will not be able to the best of my knowledge, I will not be able to enter the United States if I don't have a US approved vaccine.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not only about India versus, I mean, with France, about every country or every citizen being aware of the specific requirements for each zone. Okay.
Okay.
The safe bet would be, yes, to be vaccinated with the most common accepted vaccine in these major in these regions. But I believe that if you are vaccinated and that you will show I have no certainty on this answer, okay? So don't make me say what I did not say. But I believe that if you're vaccinated and if you show a negative PCR test, okay, you may be subject to a quarantine. Okay, so that's, I think, a plan B for people who may not be vaccinated with the so-called, top of the heap or top of the list vaccines. That could be perhaps an answer. At least that's something that I've been seen discussed at the time being.
I think as far as domestic travel is concerned, Shashank, that's what is happening in India right now. You either, you can travel with either a negative RT-PCR report or if you've had both the shots of the vaccine. So I think what Ashley says makes a lot of sense. That there could be a possibility where, in case, you vaccinated and you have a RT-PCR test, negative RT-PCR test with certain quarantine rules or something, possibilities are there. And I have also feeling that Covaxin would be approved. Again, I don't want to say something.
Shashank, let me, if I go by what's happening right now, okay, vaccination is not compulsory, and in any case, there is a quarantine that is imposed on people traveling from India. Okay.
Okay.
So obviously, if you show proof of vaccination, and if you can get your hands on Covishield, that would be great. But if you cannot, okay, that's another problem. But if you can get your hands on Covishield, or if you are vaccinated but with Covaxin, I'm pretty sure that there will be a plan B. Nevertheless, I don't see any. At least France. I cannot talk about the United States because, but I don't see France imposing one type of vaccine for India, given the Indo-French relationships.
Okay. That will be great.
But I'm not the one in charge. Oh, Ashmi wants to say something. Perhaps she's got more information than I do.
No, sorry, please continue.
Okay, no, go ahead. I was done actually.
No, actually, I had a follow-up question to what Shashank asked.
Yeah, sure, please go ahead.
So the thing about Covishield is that, we all are aware that there should be a minimum of 3 to 4 months in between getting the second dose. So I just read in the news today that Kerala has apparently done this thing for students traveling abroad, that they can show their passport number and they can get the second dose in a lesser duration compared to what is suggested by the government. So which is still not certain for other states, but is there anything from the embassy's front or something else collectively that will help students get the second dose faster?
For the timing, not to my knowledge. Okay, I don't think I know that the French embassy has done something for vaccinations for French people, but not for the timing for students. But that's something perhaps we could suggest and make sure and ask if it's possible. But honestly, I don't think that would have a lot of impact, because of this is something that is managed by central and state governments, and we cannot have any. I don't think the French government or the French representation, sorry, could have any impact on that. For your information, you're talking about 3 to 4 weeks but that's an Indian rule. In France, it's 2 weeks. I mean, depending on because in France also, when you come, if you have like for my daughter, for example, she can show her passport and she can get that duration reduced because she needs to travel. But it's 4 weeks in France. Sorry, it's 1 month. No, if it's 6 weeks in India
No,
now?
it's 3 to
It's
4
12
months
weeks.
for the second.
Yeah.
3 to
It's
4
a
months.
minimum of, yes.
Yes.
Covishield,
Wow.
they've
15
increased.
weeks.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Minimum is a 12 weeks for Covishield now.
Okay.
4 to 6 is only for Covaxin.
Okay, so I mean, I mean, I was vaccinated, so I got Moderna, and my daughter got Pfizer. It's 4 weeks, 4 weeks, yeah.
So I think the good thing, Harshvi, what you have raised is, I mean, of course, like Ashley has said, that we could always, sort of suggest the embassy about it. But, this is a very state and a very
Yeah.
central kind of a decision. And there may not be too much of a,
Diksha might have more pull on that because she's well connected. So she just pick up her phone and give give one or two phone calls, and she can't do that.
Ignore that part. But I would suggest, since Covishield now they've increased, the duration, I would suggest all of you who are, you don't have an option other than Covishield, please try to take it. That's the best thing that you can do right now, given the current situation, is at least take your first dose this month itself, so that, by the time you're traveling, you would have had your second shot. I mean, worst scenario. I mean, that's I think currently
Yeah,
that's the best thing
you're
that
right.
you can do.
If you can get your hands on Covishield, please go ahead. Unless there are some anti-vax among you, which but if that's the case, then I can't do anything for you guys. But if you are not anti-vax, then yeah, please get your hands on Covishield, because basically Covishield is AstraZeneca. So that won't be a problem.
Ashley, I have a question.
Yes. Are you a student?
No, but just something
you look like
that
a student.
you
That's why I was a bit confused. Sorry. Go ahead.
no. So you said that students who have not taken a vaccine can also travel, and they will be subjected to quarantine, right?
No, I said that if the rule would be that students who have taken a non-approved vaccine by the World Health Organization or whatever European agency, basically, it's not going to be the World Health Organization. I think the decision will come from the European health agency, and then by deduction or with the French health agency, if the vaccine is not recognized or accepted by those agencies, I believe that there might be a plan B for people who have taken, for example, Covaxin, and then they could be subject to a quarantine rule, but I'm not sure of anything.
Yeah, because the supply is really less. I'm not sure if everybody will be able to get a shot also. So just wanted to know if students can go to France and then take a vaccine from the French.
Well, honestly, yeah, I mean, that could be, if that's possible, that would be great, because in any case, the vaccination is free over here, and yeah, but I cannot say that for sure.
All right.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
I have a question as well. My name is Shakar. I think
Hi,
we're speaking for the first time, so I just wanted to introduce myself. So basically, I have a question which is kind of a dicey one. I recently got
Don't
COVID.
ask it.
I think I can still be fine with a dicey answer, so I'll be happy with that. So I recently got COVID less than a month ago.
Okay.
And the government has been dabbling back and forth with their recommendation as to people who got COVID recently. How much time do they have to wait to get even their first dose? So I am currently not eligible to get the first dose according to the government rules, because they have recommended at least a 6-month gap to the people who got COVID recently. So if you can shed some light on, I'm quite sure you wouldn't have an answer for this, but will the people who are in this category, is there any hope for them, or do they have to just come
There's always
to
hope.
France late?
There's always hope, Shikhar.
Yeah.
First of all, that's my first answer. Second answer is, as you rightfully said, I am totally, completely, fully incompetent to answer your question.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not a doctor. If you want an answer, please ask Diksha, because Diksha is she's an MD from Harvard, so she'll probably answer that question.
So
But that's a private joke. That's a private joke, because I'll tell you why later on. But on a more serious note, as I said, I'm totally incompetent to answer that question, so I will not answer that question. The information I have on people who have been sick with COVID is you must be having a doctor's certificate or some test to prove that you have been affected by COVID, right?
yes, of course.
Okay. So you'll have to keep that. You will also have to show a negative PCR, saying that you have recovered from COVID. And once you have those two pieces of information and paper, you will have to apply by the rules that will be set by the government of France to deliver the visas. Once they have delivered the visas, I mean, they come out with the protocol.
All right, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
For example, what is happening right now in France, and I can only work by analogy. Okay, I cannot give you a definite answer.
Yes, absolutely. I understand what position you are in. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So what is happening right now, to the best of my knowledge, is that people who have had COVID and can show a negative PCR test are admitted in different areas or in different processes when you need to show proof of vaccination or not. So in other words, what I'm saying is that if you've had COVID, you have recovered, and you are not sick at the moment of showing the proof of your status, you are treated on par with the people who have been vaccinated.
All right.
That's the current situation. Things may change.
Sure, of course, I understand. All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. That's what they call the vaccine passport right now. But yeah, because for example, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's yeah, let me show you this. For example, once you're vaccinated, you can show your you carry a proof of your vaccination on your iPhone, in other words, with a barcode. Yeah. So can you see this? Hello?
Actually, yeah, it's getting blocked by the wallpaper. So it's.
Oh, sorry. I'm on a wallpaper. Sorry, just a second. Let me show you where I am. For a filtre. Okay. Yeah. So you see, I've got this this thing, and this is supposed to be not supposed to be. It is the proof of me being vaccinated.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
but this is not compulsory for the timing. Nothing is compulsory.
Yes, I think I got a similar answer from some of the pages that I was surfing online and trying to gather some information, and that was also my my point of view, that it's not compulsory as of now. I just wanted to know if like you said, you wouldn't know what's going to happen in the future, but just if you had an idea, I wanted to get.
No, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare go into that. I mean, dare answer you on that aspect, because as I said, I'm totally incompetent.
All right, thank you. Still, thanks a lot.
Thank you for bearing with me and accepting my incompetence. Thank you so much. Very few people would say, would admit that they're incompetent, by the way. Yes, Ashwir, please go ahead.
It's again related to the vaccine and travel thingy. So I was just reading today that there is this 14 days gap which should be maintained between the second dose and traveling abroad. So is it also the same for all European countries?
I don't know.
I mean, France?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Listen, there's one thing I want to make clear. I mean, any medical advice, any medical information, I am not competent and I will not deliver because I don't know. So please refer to your doctor or ask Diksha, because she runs a page where she provides all information on COVID, and she will definitely be able to answer that question. Diksha, please jump in because your forte. You are an MD from Harvard, right?
Anyway, that's his joke. He keeps telling me, because I am like always, I keep giving him a lot of medical advice and I speak with a lot of confidence. So he keeps teasing me. Okay, you have this course that you've done from Harvard in medical science and all that. But, Harshvi, just, I mean, he would tease me again. But to my knowledge, I don't think there's any rule that you cannot travel. What I think, what they're advising is, the medical fraternity is to, be careful after your second shot, because, for 14 days at least, a minimum. In fact, what I had recently done an interview with a doctor on vaccination here. And what he told me was that ideally, after 1 month, you would develop antibodies. It's actually till 1 month after your second shot that you are still under danger and you can still contract the virus. In fact, after 1 month also you can, but for 1 month you need to be very careful. But I don't think there is any such, to my knowledge again, that there is any such rule that you cannot travel for 14 days after your second shot. I mean, I've had people in my family who have gone to, Delhi and come back after the second shot. So it's not like you cannot travel. It's just that they're asking, as something, as a precaution, to stay a little careful after your second shot for at least 1 month, not even 14 days, for 1 month. But I guess if you follow all guidelines and you're masked, you're taking care, traveling should not be much of a problem with, even after the second shot.
If I wanted to give you some a sense of information on your question about traveling and first shot, second shot, delay, I mean, the time between first and second shot and all that. If you read what is being done, for example, in the United States, and if you look at the information provided by them on the New York Times or Washington Post and so on, okay, now the CDC is advising that people who have taken both their shots can do without the mask. The reason why I'm mentioning this is that there are different type of information that are being circulated by different organizations within different countries, and I strongly believe, honestly, that nobody really has an answer today. That is my strong opinion, and I think I'd rather be safe than sorry. So people taking a second shot and the next day behaving as if they're totally immune is silly, because as Diksha said, there is a time between your second shot and you developing full, and that too, it's not even full, it's strong immunization. Okay, so once again, it's a matter of behavior, it's a matter of attitude, being reasonably cautious in planning your future, and always having different scenarios possible. Once again, it's not yes or no. You can travel or you cannot travel. It's, if I can't travel within 14 days, can I travel in 21 days? And having your different possibilities charted out so that you're never really stranded. This is, if I had to sort of sum up all your questions, is that there is no definite answer. At least I cannot give it to you. I'm sorry. I should start by saying I cannot give you a definite answer. So what I would encourage you to do is make sure that you have different options. And in order for you to have different options, be prepared. I keep telling my kids and I keep telling my team, I keep telling whoever has the courtesy of listening to me, 90% preparation, 10% perspiration. That's it. Be prepared. So chart your course and be prepared for all possibilities. If you can take Covishield, take Covishield. If you can take two shots of Covishield, take 2 shots of Covishield. If you can go for your pre-interview, go for your pre-interview. Clear all the potential hurdles well in advance, because otherwise you are going to fall prey to a bottleneck. Everybody, because by the way, there is one thing that no vaccine will ever cure. You know what that is? That is a sickness that is engulfing humanity. Procrastination. Never mind, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. No. Do it now, clear it, and then move on. That's a soft signal for my team. See, they're all smiling. They all know.
They all know how you can get a smile from them. It's the environment, totally.
See? I told you, when you have smiley people, you keep smiling.
No.
Anything else, guys? No?
Why don't you all switch on your,
Yeah, for the social media.
Second, we can take a pic.
For social media, are you all also are you all following us on social media? Because Diksha hasn't asked you yet. Have you all signed up with your blood?
Yeah.
Good. Because otherwise poor girl, she feels frustrated. She thinking, I mean, that's a ray of hope. But she gets one more, so she loves it.
Wouldn't have met.
Hi Divya, how are you?
Good to see. Saili, can you take a
Hi.
or let me try taking it on.
Yeah, sure. It's anyway recorded, so anyway I'll take a screenshot.
Okay. So how do you?
Wonderful. Shivani,
Smile,
Naresh,
everyone.
Arun, yeah.
Aroi, here, and Naresh. Still not there.
Yeah, Shivani was there. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
she's
Aroi,
absolutely
there she is. Hi, how are
Okay,
you?
we'll have one more.
You're
Wait,
silent.
I request the 3 others also.
We need to talk,
Yeah,
Aroi,
Shivani,
with
Naresh.
Saili later on. Great job. Do you pronounce it
Shivani.
Hia or Haya? How do you pronounce it? Hia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hia?
Everyone, hello.
Hi, Hia.
Hi.
Can't see you.
Yeah, I've actually got a problem with my
Your
webcam, so I'm not able to switch it on today.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. And Shivani?
Shivani was there. Our video was on. I think she's
Because
no problem.
Diksha gets a bonus when she posts a full page of attendees. That's why she's after your blood.
They're all laughing. They all know that.
Of course, they're all laughing because
I
they know
know.
They know this guy is totally crazy and
Yeah, exactly. You'd snatch the words from my mouth. They all know it by now.
No, but the reason why I'll be very, very honest with you. I know that the situation is super tense. I know it's really bad, and we've had this discussion with, I mean, especially with Diksha. It's playing on everybody's minds. I get it. So this is also a moment for us to sort of get away from that and also try and be together and get some positive vibes and project some positive feelings, and most importantly, to make you understand that you guys are not alone. That's really, really the crux of the whole thing. You are all now early makers. You're part of the family, and we care. As simple as that. Bottom line, we care. That's it.
I could see a little one coming in Divya's frame, and she's been trying since then to dodge. Divya, you can
Divya, please tell her that it's too early to enroll. She has to wait.
Hi.
I know she's really, really keen on joining, but unfortunately, I can really not do anything for her. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, so I was noticing, poor thing is wants to come in the frame, and we
Hi.
are
Come in the frame. Come in the frame. Let's take a picture of you as well. Yeah, that's great.
Hello.
Come on.
Stop it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Any
All
other
right,
questions,
thank
guys?
you.
All good?
All good.
Vikas? Good. Sandeep,
Yes, sir.
you'll have to wait for your answer.
I would wait. Maybe you will teach me in person. That will be-
I'd love to, but I think you're going to be much more competent than me once you finish your course. So then I'll have to come for you to you
No,
for some
no.
advice.
That's a long haul. I mean, that's a long haul.
Why do you say that? Don't say that. Just give it to me in my face and say absolutely, and I'll show you. And that's the way. That's the spirit. Not that's a long shot. I'll take time and this and that. You won't have time. Go for a shortcut. Time is of essence. Believe me.
Yes.
You'll be like
Actually,
an old man like me, 60 years old.
I said, Ashley, I'll end it on a happy note for you. There's something that I wanted to say in front of the team, in front of these lovely students, that, I have taken Covaxin, so I may not be able to travel to France and meet you in person.
My
So, you can
prayers
enjoy
have
your
been
evening
my
now.
prayers have been her at times. Yeah, take care, everybody.
Bye. Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Thank you.
No, it's too
Yeah,
late,
are you
Sally.
cutting?
I've already given the praise, so you don't have to record it again. So she started recording again.
No,
Don't start. It's over.
my
See?
internet connection went off.
See?
So
Second lesson, management. Opportunity never knocks twice. Bye, guys. Take care.
Ashley, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Good night. Stay safe.